The Brits make really great internal combustion engine motorcycles, but how does one of their electric motorcycles fare? In this video, I get a close-up look of a British-made electric motorcycle at a gorgeous Southern California beach. Not only did I just get a look, I was able to swing a leg over and take it for a spin. This is my first ride of Britain's MAEVING RM1S electric motorcycle.
There you go.
Awesome.
How was that?
That was great. I don't remember how I first heard about MAEVING, but it was definitely somewhere on social media. I've been aware of the company and their electric motorcycles for a couple of years, and I've been dying to try one from the get-go. When I heard they were having a demo ride event in the San Diego area, I quickly signed up and made a reservation to ride the RM1S. The event was held in Encinitas, California, which is a picturesque coastal town a bit over 25 miles north of San Diego. The meetup location for the demo ride was Moonlight Beach. Talk about a beautiful spot to try a new motorcycle. You might be wondering why this location. Well, it makes sense when you learn that the company has a direct-to-consumer business model. They have a showroom in the Los Angeles area, but you won't be purchasing a MAEVING from a dealership. At least not at the time when I made this video. Let's take a look at the RM1S. Right away, its striking retro styling is apparent. Its lines remind me of my 2002 Triumph Bonneville. If you know me, you know that I'm partial to the classics, so I really do like the way this motorcycle looks. Features that I really like are the brushed aluminum battery case and engine controller, the tank, which opens up to provide storage, the tire-hugging fenders, or mud guards if you're British, the classic round headlight, spoked aluminum rims, the single brown seat, and the round bar end mirrors. The finish of the motorcycle looks really good. The powder-coated chromoly steel frame, the brushed aluminum battery and motor controller case, the tank, and the single seat all look really well done. This is an interesting way to carry cargo. MAEVING have an available side bag that mounts to the left side of the battery compartment. It's a clever way to take advantage of the space, as it doesn't get hot like a gas-burning motorcycle would in that same area. MAEVING offers 10 different color schemes, and the one I rode was probably my favorite of them all. It's called the Gilbert. I'm not sure why they called it that, but I really like the white and blue tank with the red and light blue stripes. One feature that's neat about the RM1S is its removable batteries. Here's Tim from MAEVING going over how that works.
Battery housing door opens, press the button that then releases the batteries, take them out, and you can charge them in a regular 110 wall socket on this charging base. So that comes, you plug the charger into that, and then you put your two batteries on.
And you don't have to remove the batteries to charge them. You can charge it via the onboard charging port on the side case.
Directly on the bike, the batteries are in, and that'll charge the batteries. And then, again, I'll show you the charger in a second. Let's put the battery back in, slide it back in, and close the door. The battery housing, and you can fit a standard charger in the tank, as well as there's a USB-C charger in there, but that's your standard charger, regular wall socket, directly onto the bike or into the charging dock, whatever your needs require.
That's super neat.
There you go.
Okay, let's put the gear on and take this motorcycle for a ride. It's nice and light.
Super light. All the weight is in the batteries.
Yeah.
So with that, no fuel in the tank there, it's just like, I don't know. Yeah, it's super easy riding.
One of the first things I noticed is how light it felt. It only comes in at 311 pounds. You can really feel that when you're backing it out of a parking space and when you're tooling around a parking lot. So if you haven't heard of MAEVING, here's a little bit of information about the company. It was founded in 2017 by two friends who met in college. Oh, thank you. They wanted to focus on making electric motorcycles that have a high level of styling, would be easy to charge, and would suit the urban and commuting riders. They decided, in order to reach their goals of producing motorcycles to a high-quality standard, the motorcycles needed to be manufactured in the UK, and so the company calls Coventry, England, home. An interesting tidbit is that their head of product, Graham Gilbert, used to do that job for Triumph motorcycles. That's probably why the MAEVING RM1S looks so good. This motorcycle is electric, and as such, it's very, very quiet. I think it's quieter than the belt-driven electric motorcycles I've tried out so far. The rear hub motor means there's no belt whine, but the only time you hear anything is when you're braking. Due to the lack of engine and exhaust noise, riding the RM1S can really be a peaceful experience. Or it can show you how loud other vehicles on the road actually are. I'm not really a believer of the old adage, loud pipes save lives. But I can tell you, when you have absolutely no motor noise, you do need to be careful of people coming out of the parking spaces.
Lloramos como Magdalena las dos, porque le dijo,
The majority of my ride was along the famous Highway 101. If you're going to be driving along the coast and you're not in a rush, the 101 is a way to go. If you're ever in the area, I highly recommend riding this route. This route follows the railroad tracks pretty closely. There goes the coaster headed north. I love it when I'm riding a motorcycle and I get to see a train or trolley go by. Okay, let's go over some of the specs of the RM1S. First, the performance. The top speed is 70 miles per hour. The power plant is a brushless hub motor that's integrated with the rear wheel. The max power is 11.1 kilowatts, and the max torque is 193 foot-pounds. It offers 3 ride modes: Ride, Sport, and Eco. It's always important to talk about range when it comes to electric vehicles. MAEVING lists the RM1S's range as 90 miles when you're in the ride mode, and speed is limited to 45 miles per hour. If you're ripping around in sport mode, the range is 52 miles. Another important topic is charging times. To go from 0 to 100%, it'll take 6.5 hours. To go from 20 to 80%, it'll take 2 hours and 45 minutes. If you're trying to get to 100% and you start out at 20, it's going to take you 4 hours. Just like Tim showed earlier in the video, you can charge a couple different ways. Using a standard 3-pin socket, either remove the batteries and put them in the charging dock, or keep the batteries in the bike and plug directly into the charging port. If you're out and about, MAEVING says a Type 2 adapter will let you charge anywhere. The seat height on the RM1S is about 31 inches. On my 5'9", 30-inch inseam body, it was a comfortable reach to the controls and foot pegs. The seat not only looks good, but it feels good too. Although my ride was kind of short, the seat did feel pretty comfortable. And that says a lot about the seat because it's kind of on the small side. There's not much room to wiggle around and change your seating position. Despite all that, it supported my hind end nicely. Suspension up front is handled by a traditional fork that gives 4.3 inches of travel. Suspension in back comes in the way of dual shocks, much like a classic modern Triumph or Moto Guzzi. The rear suspension travel on the MAEVING is 3.15 inches. When ordering the motorcycle, you do have an option to add uprated rear shocks. Stopping the motorcycle is a single 300mm disc up front and a single 180mm disc in the back. Brakes are linked when using the brake lever on the handlebar. The bias is 40% front, 60% rear. That fact was a little surprising to me. I would have assumed that the bias would be more towards the front because that's where most of your braking happens. I wonder if it has something to do with the hub motor in the rear wheel. If somebody knows why MAEVING linked their brakes this way, let me know in the comments below. When I made this video, the price of the RM1S started at $9,995 and could get up a bit over to $12,000 when you add in options such as carbon fiber fenders, uprated rear shocks, and the side bag. So I mentioned earlier, the company has a direct-to-consumer sales method. When you purchase a MAEVING, it gets delivered to your door by their delivery team. If you happen to be in California, shipping is free. If you're somewhere else in the contiguous United States, shipping is calculated at the time of purchase. Unfortunately, if you're somewhere like Alaska or Hawaii, MAEVING doesn't deliver though. I'm sure if you were determined though, you could probably find an independent freight company to ship it to you. I say this because I used to live in Alaska, and it always sucked when something couldn't get shipped there. I found my ride of the MAEVING RM1S to be very enjoyable. It was really nice to peacefully ride down the road. You can't help but enjoy yourself when you're riding this motorcycle. When I moto commute to work, I stay off the freeway and ride the back roads. I think this motorcycle would make my commute an absolute breeze. So who do I think this motorcycle is for? Well, it's not a sport bike, and it's also not a tourer. So that stated, it's not going to tick the boxes for everybody. But this is the perfect motorcycle for an urban or suburban motorcyclist who wants an incredibly simple, smooth, and stylish way to get around. The thing is perfect for city driving and commuting. The fact that you can charge it from a regular outlet makes it accessible to nearly everyone. You don't need to have any electrical work done at your home in order to charge it there. I really could see myself using the RM1S to enjoy my 14-mile commute to work and for tooling around San Diego when I'm off work. This really was an enjoyable motorcycle to ride. Let me know what you think about MAEVING and their RM1S. But let me caveat by saying, save your comments if all you're going to do is diss electric motorcycles. You're probably not going to present anything that hasn't been said before. All right, thanks for watching.